Hey, this is Andrew Brown, your AWS Community Hero, and this is a private video for the community builders. And I just wanted to quickly go through some of the things that I know about dev that's going to help you be more productive with engaging on dev, all right? So right here, I'm logged into the website, and traditionally, the only way you could make an account on dev was either through a Twitter or GitHub account. I think they've opened that up to email now, and the reason why is that this is a level 100 community, meaning that it's all focused around beginners, and it's about their experiences and them trying to get a career into web development or the cloud. Though traditionally dev has always been more developer focused, I just think that on mass, most people are not familiar with the cloud, so it's a great opportunity for us to get them into it. All right. So the thing is that dev is a tag-based social media system. Everything highly revolves around curated tags. And on the left-hand side, you can actually explore all the tags here. And so this is what's going to determine how your article is going to do well or not, if you can choose the right tags. And when you actually go ahead and make a post, I'm going to go make a new post here, you only have the option to choose up to 4 tags. So the thing is that you really have to target the ones that are at the top. And actually the ones that are top are the most popular, so they're going to have the most reach. And so the thing is that you might think, okay, well, if I choose a very popular tag, there's a lot of noise there. But what I found is that the dev is still such a small community that you want to choose the top tags as much as possible. So you might be doing something on an AWS topic where you're like, okay, maybe I should tag this as SageMaker. But the thing is that if there's no SageMaker tagging, you can tag something as SageMaker. It's just not going to have that visibility. No one's going to see it. And the idea is you want people to see your post. So what I want you to do is just scroll on through here and choose the most popular tags. And we definitely have one for AWS. There's like Linux and things like that, machine learning. So you got to go for those generalized tags, and all 4 of your tags should be that. If you click into a tag, each tag actually has moderators. So I'm a moderator for the AWS one here. And as a moderator, I have the ability to define how this tag should be used. So one thing is that if you're going to use a tag, you have to check what are the rules of that tag. So if I go to beginners, they might have like very serious rules on what you can and can't post, and they might remove the tag or remove your post completely if you're violating those rules, kind of like a subreddit. So you do have to be a little bit careful to make sure that what you're using is framed for that category. And also, even if a moderator doesn't remove the tag or remove your post, they could end up just not promoting it, right? So the thing is, as a moderator, I do have some ability to say, hey, this one's a very good post, it should get more attention. So the thing is that you want to really play along with whatever the rules are so that you have a higher chance of doing well in here, okay? And so the thing is that dev is a very personalized community. And so it's actually very easy to get featured on dev as long as you keep your content native, right? So when I say native, I mean like you're making content that appears that it originated from dev. The creators of dev are they might pick up on that, and they may end up retweeting it. So I do strongly recommend that you do focus on native content if you can. You can totally repost content here. It's totally fine to do so. And if you do want to do it, what you're going to end up doing is using the canonical URL. So down below here, I'm editing a new post. And down below, you can see I have this canonical URL. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But what this says, it says this is the origin of the original post. So if you have your own blog and your own domain and you want to take your post and put it here, you can put the link in here. And that's going to tell the search engines that you are the original owner, or this is the original source of the post. So when someone searches in Google, it's not going to put dev in front of yours. So you're going to get a better ranking long term. But I just want you to be aware of that, okay? And when you do bring over articles, they don't have to be one-to-one with the original one. In fact, I strongly recommend that you tweak it for dev, just because there are things that dev looks at that will rank your article higher, such as having code blocks. So for instance, you'll almost always see me having some kind of code block of a certain length in there because I know that's going to rank higher. And also the length of the article, I can't remember what it is anymore, but I just know that, you don't want it too short, you want it of a good length. And that's also going to factor into ranking. When you do make a post, it shows up here in the feed of whatever anyone is subscribed to. And if you are in the top one here, it's going to show your banner image. So notice there's no banner images for any of the ones below. But I'm going to tell you one little hack is that if you upload a video, it always remains here. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make a very short video as an introduction to my article, just so that when someone's scrolling here, it's even more prominent, okay? So that's something that you're probably gonna wanna do, all right? Let's go over back into AWS Tag. And so here we can see we have a very large feed of AWS articles, and they're all variety. Notice how we're having one reaction down below. And the reason why some of these people might be getting low engagement is that they might have not built up their base yet. So when I say building up your base, I mean like, and this doesn't matter what community you go to, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever. The reason you might not be getting good engagement is because you don't have enough people that you're friends with that are sharing your content, are interested in your content. And so you could write the best article on day one, but nobody's seeing it. And this was a large frustration that I had early on. And so, there are ways to hack your base, and I can talk about that some other time. But what you really do want to do is spend time getting to know people on Dev, building up those relationships before you start investing a lot of time in long form posts. Otherwise, nobody's going to care, right? The whole point of these social communities is to interact with other people because, sharing is caring, and that's how it works. One way you can start doing that, if you don't have any friends on Dev and you don't know what to do, there is always welcome threads. So if I go to, if I just type in welcome here, and we go to the dev.to staff here, you can see they're posting on a regular basis new welcome threads all the time. Let's see if I can find one here. Welcome thread. So these fill up after a while, and they always end up making a new one. But if I go in here, and actually the first time you sign up on Dev, they probably suggest for you to go here. They point you to it. But you can go in here and you just start saying hello. So Waylon is I know Waylon is a very nice fellow, and he's in here active, and he's saying hello to people. So that's something that you can do as well, and that's a great way to start to build up that base, because everybody's beginners here. They just want to make friends with people, and so that is a great opportunity for you to do that as well. Another thing is leaving comments, thoughtful comments on other posts here. And I'm going to tell you right now that, again, this is a level 100 community. So if you're going to provide thoughtful feedback, I would just avoid trying to create arguments because these just do not work well here. Remember, like the big issue is like a lot of people have imposter syndrome on here, and so if you're coming and you're showing them up and stuff like that, it's not going to work well in your favor. And this is really hard because we have a lot of experts in AWS in cloud, and they struggle to engage on Dev because they don't understand that just because you have all this knowledge, that's not exactly what Dev users are looking for. They're looking for the next step to their career in cloud or Dev. And if you are presenting yourself as a super expert, it's just too many steps away for them to actually move along with. So that is something I'm going to suggest to you to do. And also, there are organizations. So if I just go back to the AWS tag here, and you might already be part of this organization. See what I mean? How videos always show up in the feed. But I'm just going to look for the AWS tag. And in here, we should probably be easily be able to find someone from the builders. I'm just going to scroll through here. Is Rob in the builders? Was this posted on the builders? No. Should see some under builders here. But I'll just type it up in the top because I know what it is. So we'll just type in builders here. And so here's the AWS builders, and a lot of builders have already joined. And the reason why you want to post articles under the builders is that it should get you more traffic. It should get you more visibility. And the whole purpose we made this is just so that it helps you get higher reaction. So if you weren't posting here, you'd probably have a lot lower reaction count. And so I'm always in here and I'm just doing this like crazy. So I'm just trying to help you get more visibility as builders. And that's another thing is like, how do you end up on the homepage? The way you end up on the homepage is a collection of things. So your ranking is depending on your articles, so like the length and if you have code in it. Another thing is the amount of comments you have, right? Another thing is the amount of reactions you have. So all of these are reactions. So you have the heart reaction, unicorn reaction, and bookmark reaction. The difference between heart and unicorn, there isn't anything. They're just two different things. But bookmark actually has a practical purpose. It's actually going to add it to your reading list. But in terms of trying to get on the homepage, I just always click all three. And Dev doesn't really mind if you do that. And so that's going to count as 3. So the thing is that if somebody comes in here and I give it 3 and 7 other people do that, you're going to hit over whatever the number is. 7 times 3 is 21. And there's actually a magic number. The devs might have adjusted it, but like it used to be like if I could get 9 people to do 3 reactions, I would have had a very high chance of trending, because the algorithm for dev would put it would say, hey, this is really popular. We should really let it stay on the homepage a lot longer. And so that was something that I always targeted. And you have to do that within the first 24 hours, I think, or was it 12 hours? But my point is that you have to put a lot more energy into your into the marketing of your content at the time of launch. Okay, if people are giving you reactions down the road, it's not going to help you. You need it at the time of launch, not later on. Okay, where LinkedIn is different, where you can put something out and LinkedIn will keep on putting that in front of people, so you don't necessarily need to put up that upfront work. So that is another key difference. But the thing is, once you join the organization, and you can join the AWS Builders organization, the instructions are there in the Slack. I'm not going to show it here. But what you'll be able to do is drop this down and choose the organization here. So here there's the AWS Heroes one. I have a few other ones of myself. And then there's the AWS Community Builders. So you go here, and now this will get posted under the Builders community. So that's something that you can do there. If you're looking for inspiration in terms of how to architect articles that are going to work, I would recommend going up here and clicking on Infinity. You can see the top articles. I know Simon. Simon's a super nice fellow. And I wish I had the top article, but I just didn't engineer the right one. I have been in the closer top. I don't know if I'm still there. But I used to be in the Infinity. I used to be in the top 20. And so the reason why his did so well was that he figured out where the best domains are in dev. So because dev is very developer focused, he did React, Vue, Angular, and JavaScript. And so he had a lot more reach. And so that was able to get him on top here. So that was very impressive. So that's another thing when you think about tags. You want to be rotating out your tags. You're always going to have AWS, right? But you want to rotate the other ones out, because if you're always posting in the same community, the same tags, only the same people are going to see it. You're not going to have more visibility. So that's something you're going to want to do, is rotate that out. And sometimes I will engineer content to include these other tags because I know all this stuff. And it gets you more exposure. Otherwise, you'll see yourself hitting a cap. All right. So that's something that I want you to do. And it really matters. Your title really, really, really does matter on how you write it. So I don't know, I see AWS ones all the time, and there's really good articles that are technical, but there's no why as into why I would want to read it. So let's just take a look here. So like AWS Event Bridge replays. So here we have one about replays. But again, I'm a level 100. Why do I care about this? Why do I want to do this? And that is always the thing, is you have to come back and think about what is the motivation of people on here? How does it help them with their career journey? So if you can frame it with about how to help you get a career in cloud, or how it's going to whatever, that's going to help. These kind of things where it's very feature specific are okay, but they're just not going to have, if you're looking for growth and stuff like that, they're not very good. But if you need to put one of these articles out here, you can do that. Another thing is making sure you fill out your card. So you have this information on the right-hand side. It's a little bit different if you have an organization. So I have my ExamPro organization. I'm going to go take a look at that. Or we can just look at the builders. It doesn't matter. So we'll go here. And so we'll go into live coding here. And so right on the right-hand side is that if you are posting on your own, then it's going to show your information here. But if you're posting part of a community, it's going to show this over here. And people are more likely to follow this. So when you post, you're all collectively getting people to follow the builders. And then when you post in the builders, you're going to have more traffic. So you aren't going to get as much promotion if you were to post on your own. But the point is that this is going to be a lot better for you. Another thing is that you really do want to represent yourself as a person. If you're not a person on Dev, you're not going to do well. I see a lot of people, they'll take their brand and they'll put their brand as an account. If you want to have your brand, you're going to have an organization for that. And you want to really make sure that you are a user here, okay? And so that is something you're really going to want to do. Dev awards these badges, and you can actually earn them. I can't remember which ones I have. But if you do some of these badges, if you do earn them, you'll end up in the Dev newsletter, or things like that, and that can get, or they'll get reposted on Twitter and other places, and that can give you a really big boost. So you might want to even focus on your articles of trying to engineer articles to trigger these stickers so that dev is going to take notice and then promote your stuff, and that's going to help you get that base a lot faster. So like big thread is one, is awarded to the member who created the biggest thread of the week in terms of love across all comments. So I had engineered a post to do that, and I think I called it as like, you're not worth hiring unless. You're not worth hiring unless. Okay. So this is my article. I think this is the one that earned me the big thread one. So it has 338 reactions and 171 comments. I don't remember. So the thing is, you can engineer a post to say, hey, I want this post, I want people to engage with this, or I want any reactions, or I want to bookmark. Those are the three things. Like, you can engineer it for comments. And some of my ones that have done really well, where I've gotten featured, is because they're resources that people want to save for later. So like, yeah, we had an article, like if you have an AWS article, like how to use RDS proxy, that might not do well, like unless it's contextualized. But if you make like a cheat sheet or something, that is something that people are going to hit save on. So if you make a really robust one, that'd be very popular. So if we go to like Infinity here, there probably is some here on the top here. If I go to, so you'll see like all these top ones, like 100 tips, 101 tips. So someone's going to want to save that for later. Right? Or like there's one that used to be on here all the time was regular expressions. I can't seem to find anymore, but a lot of these are like lists 40 plus whatever and things like that. So I would just say like engineer different content, engineer something for making someone want to save it for later, engineer something for comments, and then engineer one that is just like more community building and being thoughtful about other people's journeys and things like that. And, hopefully that will give you somewhere to go. There's a lot of things to do on dev. I didn't even scratch the surface about it, but hopefully that gives you a bit of direction on what to do.